Today we're going to make this cute and easy Father's Day card. So to get started, we are going to need a black marker, crayon or pencil crayon, a pencil, some glue, and some paper. You can see I'm using some yellow, some darker blue, a lighter blue, and a red. You do not have to use these colors. You can decide whatever colors you would like to use, but let's get started. So the first color you want to think about is the color you're using for the actual base of your card. So this is the card that I'm using. See how I'm using the blue? You're going to take that color and put it in front of you, long side left to right, short side top to bottom, and you're going to fold it over left to right. So once you fold it, you're just going to kind of push down so the crease stays down. And then we want to shorten our card a little bit. So once that crease is down, see, I'm going to put a little bit of a line here. Now, there's no perfect way, or no perfect place, sorry, but I'm just going to take my pencil and put a line to shorten my card. If you want to know about a measurement, here's a non-standard measurement. I'm going to take my hand and see how my hand can fit in that space. So that's about the size that I want to leave. Once you have your line, you're going to use your scissors and cut that out. Now, if you have a hard time drawing a straight line, just grab a ruler and use that to help you. Whatever's going to make your job easier. Now you have a card. It opens up and it's in the shape of about a square. Not perfect, but good enough. Now I'm grabbing yellow because that's what I'm going to use for my belt. You choose the color you would like. Then you want to make sure that you have enough length. Now I'm going to use a ruler just to show you that you can use a ruler to help guide you. I'm going to take my ruler, put it right at the top of the piece of paper, and just draw a line right underneath. That's about the thickness I need for my belt. Yours can be thicker, it can also be thinner. If you don't have a ruler, that's also okay. Just draw the best straight line that you can, or use the edge of another piece of paper to help you. Then you are going to cut it out. You will notice that my belt is longer than my actual card, and that's okay. I did it on purpose. It just helps me to make sure that I glue it on nice and easily, and you'll see when I glue it on, I'm not even going to line it up. I'm actually going to move it over a little bit. So a little bit hangs off the left and a little bit hangs off the right. And then I'm going to glue that on. Now I'm not gluing it right at the top. I'm leaving a little space at the top. And then I'm gluing it on. And then all I do is flip over my card and trim off the extra. And that way it fits on there perfectly. So now that we have our belt, we are now going to make our belt loops. So remember that blue piece of paper we cut off? We're actually going to use that again. So I'm going to grab that piece of paper and I am going to make my little belt loops by taking my scissors and just cutting a thin rectangle. So really it's just a strip of paper. Doesn't matter how thick it is, however you would like your loops to be. And I'm going to glue them on. Now before I do that, I think this is a little bit too long, so I just want a little piece at the end. Just going to use my pencil, draw a line, and cut that off. So you just want a little bit over the belt. Then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on that, and I'm not putting it right at the very left-hand side. I'm just moving in a little bit, and that's where I'm going to put the loop for my belt, and I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to grab that blue piece of paper, and I'm going to cut another strip about the same size, mark it off with my pencil, cut it out, and glue it on. I'm going to leave a space from my last loop, and here it is. There we go. It's coming along. Now, we are going to create the pocket. Now, I'm using yellow to create my pocket, the same as my belt. I just want to make sure I have enough space. So I'm going to put my yellow piece of paper right in the middle of my card, and I'm going to just draw a bit of a square. So I'm just going to put it here. I'm going to move my pencil over and draw a line. I'll show you with the ruler. You don't have to use one. And then I'm going to match it up to the bottom of my card. So it's just a square. And that square is going to fit right inside my card. It's like my little pocket. You don't have to use yellow. You can use whatever color you would like for your pocket, but this is going to be the pocket. So whatever you would like for your pocket, that's the color you're cutting a square out with. Then what you are going to do is just double check that your square fits inside. Mine fits nicely, so I'm now going to fold it. So I'm folding it over, and then I am going to draw a diagonal line. So you need a pencil, and right from the right-hand side down to the bottom, I'm going to draw a little diagonal line. So here I'll start it right at the bottom, that might be easier, and I'm going to go diagonally up to the right. So there's a diagonal line, and then I'm going to cut that out. Because I folded it, when I open it up, it will be symmetrical. And then I'm just going to put that on my card to make sure it's the right size. Okay, I almost think mine's a bit too big. See how I don't have a lot of space? I'm going to trim off the top. You decide how big you want your pocket, but I think I need a little bit of space at the top because we're going to put our little tools in there. So I'm just going to make mine a little bit smaller. I'm going to trim it off and put it on to make sure I like it. Oh, I do. So just make sure your pocket is the size you want. Then we're going to make a little loop for our pocket. So I'm going to use some of that yellow paper again. And I'm just going to put it on the side of my pocket. I'm using the right side of my pocket. I'm going to trim off a small little strip, little rectangle, and I am going to fold that over. Now when I fold it, I want to leave a little loop. So see how I'm folding it, but I'm not squishing it down. See, there's a little loop in there. And then I will add some glue. So you want that loop because we're going to put a little tool in there. So put a little bit on the tip, and once again, put a little glue on the tip. Sorry, fold it over, push those tips together, and then there's your little loop. So there's that little hole. Then what you will do is grab some more glue and put it right on that edge again, and we're going to glue it in behind our pocket that we just cut out. So I'm just going to glue it right in behind, making sure I don't push down on that little fold. And there it is. Now, for the next part, we have to be careful with our glue. What we want to make sure is that we are putting no glue at the top. So you don't want any glue at the top, and all you want is glue around the sides and the bottom. So you notice I'm not putting any glue in the middle of my pocket, just the right side, the bottom, and the left side. So nothing in the middle, nothing at the top. And then I'm going to glue it down. Because remember, it's a pocket. We want to be able to get access to the top of our pocket. So there, I'm going to push that down so it sticks. And then, if we have done it correctly, we will be able to access the top of our pocket. Now, grab your black crayon marker or pencil crayon, and all you're going to do is put little design for the stitching all around the outside of your pocket. And then I'm going to write a little message, Happy Father's Day on the inside. Yours can say Happy Grandfather's Day, whatever message you would like. But this one here is for Father's Day, so I'm going to write that in the middle. And then there's my little pocket. See? And now time for the tools. So I'm going to grab my little red piece of paper. This is going to be the handle for my hammer. So you choose whatever color you would like for the handle for your hammer. And all you're going to do is draw a line that comes down. You're going to curve it around, and it's going to come back up. So it's almost a really long oval without the top of the oval. So it's just nice and long, and that will be the handle for our hammer. Once you have that, you are going to cut it out. The only issue is that it has to fit through the loop that we created in the card. So if it doesn't, we will just fix that. So don't worry, this is how we test. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to see if I can fit it in that little loop that we created. Oh, and mine's having a very tricky time. So no worries, we just trim it. So you will test yours, and if it's a little bit too wide, you will just trim it so that it goes right inside that little loop. And there we go. Mine fits out perfectly this time. Now I'm going to take the handle I just drew, put it on top of a light blue piece of paper. You choose the color you would like for the top of your hammer. And then I'm going to draw 2 lines coming up from each side. And then I'm going to curve over to the right and come all the way back up for the one side of my hammer. Then I'm going to go back to the other side, and I'm going to curve in, out, and around again at the top and back. So it's just looking like a hammer. Once you're happy with the way that looks, you're going to grab some scissors. You are going to cut that out, and then you're going to glue it on to the base that you created earlier. There we go. It actually looks like a tiny little hammer. And it fits perfectly into the little holder on the side of my pocket. So I'm just going to put it in there, and now I'm going to make my second tool. So here we are going to grab the same piece of paper. You choose what color you would like, and I am going to make a little wrench. To do that, I am going to put a line that goes left to right, leave a space, put another line that goes left to right, and then I'm going to go right to one side. I'm going to curve around on each side from the top and then the bottom, and then I'm just going to kind of curve in and join them. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So around on one side, around on the other side, curve in, and then join them. And just fix it the way you would like it. And then you're going to cut that out. So that is going to be your little wrench. If you found that it was a little bit tricky, just pause and try that again. You can also make yours a little bit larger or smaller. And then you just slip it in the pocket, and there we go. We have our Happy Father's Day card. And then on the inside, you have lots of space to write a message or a poem. You could even add extra tools. It's whatever you would like. Remember, be creative and have fun. Thanks for joining me on Craft Club for Kids.